Hey everybody. Sorry I'm a couple minutes late, but Dave, hello, you are early. Julie, thank you so much. Alicia, my faithful ones, you guys are great. Thank you for being here. Whew. It's been a wild day. It's been a wild day. How is everybody here? Because they're early for once, yes. I know my hair is still wet. I was quick trying to blow dry. It's probably kind of weird. Oh, it was, I think we hit 74 today and sunny and beautiful. Tomorrow's supposed to be 80. Oh, thanks, Julie. Thank you. A quick blow dry on the top and the back can stay wet, right? Julie, I didn't get to ask you today. How are the fires out there? Hey, Patty. Hi. Dave, you got 72 breezy, nice 50s at night. Yeah. So after our couple warmer days here, we are actually going to be getting down cool. I think our highs are in the 50s and we even get down back into the 30s, close to freezing. It's a few days out and they're saying 36 for a low, but oh, now they're saying 38. Who knows? And that would be Thursday morning. It's going to be that cold. So we're kind of in that stage where it goes up and down and up and down. So Alicia, you just got in from the Salvation Army thrift store. Ooh, okay. New DC shoes. Oh, I love getting deals like that. It's so great. Oh, Patty, yeah, the whole West Coast. Yeah, you guys are really... Oh, good, Julie. Oh, I'm so glad. Yep, I got your note about the low coming in. That's sounds like it's good for you. That things can blow out of there maybe a little bit, at least get rid of the real smoky stuff. So yeah, it's hard, and especially with people with what do you mean not for the fire though? I'll ask you later. That's fine. Yes, I did, Alicia. I think you sent it yesterday, maybe yesterday or what's today, Monday? I think it was yesterday or the day before. It's been crazy. I was taking care of my dad again this weekend, and my mom is actually coming home from the hospital tomorrow. She's being discharged. She could have come home today, but we weren't ready for her because we have to set up some 24/7 home care for her. So, but she's doing great, really recovering well from the stroke. So, so low pressure pulls in oxygen, air, it feeds the fire. Got it. Thanks, Dave. Thank you. Yes, it is good news. It is good news. We had an online YouTube benefit, a live benefit from my brother last week, Thursday night, and that went really, really well. So we've raised over $15,000 for him, so it was really, really great. Hey, Jason, hello. Thanks, Dave. Yeah, it's getting through a few struggle things lately, and yeah, so that was really really great for my brother. And do I have any chickens? No, I don't. I would love to have a few chickens. However, I am gone enough where, and I don't have anybody around here, even close by, that could step in and take care of my animals when I'd be gone. So, I mean, I would even love to have a dog and everything else, but I don't have that kind of infrastructure in place for someone else to be able to care for things. And like I said, I'm gone way too often. Um, Thank you, Alicia. I really, really appreciate that. And oh, Dave, you got awesome hands. You got, I would imagine you probably have a backup then too, right? Somebody in the neighborhood or close by that can, if you have to be gone for a day, somebody else who could come in and feed your chickens. Hello, How to Garden. Hi, Glenn. How are you doing? Hey, Mary Catherine. Hi. Guys are starting to flow in now. They're flowing in. So that's great. You know, that makes a huge difference. It really does. And also for here in Minnesota, I would need to, I mean, we get so cold that I would need to have like an insulated coop, not necessarily one that keeps it, super warm or anything like that, but just that it has to be insulated enough, and maybe just like a little heat lamp or something like that in there. But it would be, it's not just a little chicken tractor that I could put out for things. So, oh, so there are things that are there that, um, it's just not possible. So I have a lot of farmer friends, though, that I could get chickens and eggs from and different things like that. So there are a lot of farms around here, and a lot of good people that I'm not concerned about not having access to that. So that would really, that'd be good. Wind is the big problem for birds more than cold. Okay. Needs tight seal and proper breeds. Okay. Well, thanks, Dave. Appreciate that. Yeah, and I get nasty winds here. We're out in the wide open prairie, and winter winds are bitter. We're talking 50 to 70 below zero. So that's it gets pretty cold. Sounds like it's at the North Pole, Alaska, but those colds are. I just would hate to go out and see all the chickens dead, and the eggs would all freeze and different things. So, hey, Kate Rogers, hello. Oh, thank you. That's very sweet. Adopt a squirrel. I have got plenty of squirrels around here. Oh, and they're little pesky things. They eat the apples off my trees. Speaking of trees, oh, hi, Henry. Henry's honey, how are you? Um, the eggs do freeze with the girls. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. Um, at noon. You know what? Even if they laid them at 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning, by noon, probably there are plenty of days or weeks that if I didn't get them within the hour, they would be frozen solid. So tree rats. I can believe that, Jason. I can believe that. So I harvested my first apple tree today, and it's my smallest tree. It's only a few years old, but it's a Macintosh, and the apples were beautiful. I got about half a bushel or so. And like I said, it's a small tree, but my Harrelson is the branches are just laden. So, and a lot of the apples look pretty good. They're small there, but they're pretty good. My Macintosh are nice, though. I mean, they're not like the super huge ones that you get in the grocery store, but they're a nice size, probably the size of my fist. And so they're most of them are like unblemished, so they're just beautiful. Yeah, and we've already had. Hey, Sean, hello. Apple pie. I have actually considered making some apple pie filling and can it, just to have for the holidays, which is really about the only time that I make apple pie. But otherwise, I don't do much in the way of desserts here or anything. But we could do that. I don't really need. I might do some applesauce, but my plan this year is to actually juice most of them. I have a a steam juicer that I just got a few weeks ago, and I'm so excited about that. So anyway, I got that for planning on making some apple juice. So pie filling. Hey, off kilter. Hello, Mac. Hi. Grinning away. They should have an emoji with a beard. You know, it's like the big grin with the beard, something like that for all you guys. I mean, I wonder how we do that if we, if there's ways to put in a suggestion or something to YouTube. Hey, make an emoji here. Pie filling is a good idea. Applesauce, apple butter. Yep. See, I don't eat toast, so having apple butter and jellies and jams and things like that, they just don't get eaten. I just wouldn't eat it. So again, I try to make and can and grow things that I would actually eat. So I know apple juice, I would definitely use a lot of that. Your sister-in-law did it, worked out awesome. Okay. Mac, your daughter's coming for birthday dinner. Oh, how fun. Whose birthday? Hers or yours? Or yeah, my Macintosh apples are great. So those would be the ones that I could use actually for apple pie filling. And I might do that. Red Hot candy cheese applesauce. That would do it. Yep. Saying hi. Hello. Oh, your daughter's birthday. Okay. Mac, did you guys have a great time in Kentucky? Yes, Julie was asking about your trip. It looks like you were getting a little bit rowdy there in the hotel parking lot, though. Nobody to put in a word of reason there. That was awesome. Good. Good. Hey, Miss T. No problem. I know it's early for especially the East Coast and everything, so I really appreciate that. So other than getting half a bushel of apples so far, I actually did a final harvest on my peppers today. There are no more blossoms. The plants are starting to show some wear and tear. And so most everything that was on there was kind of full size. Some of the green peppers that I was hoping to turn red and orange and everything, they weren't quite doing that yet. But considering we're going to get close to another freeze, and there's at a point with some things in my garden where I just have to say, okay, this is it, it's done. I got to pull it all out and move on. I can't just wait around for it to just do this and do that. So anyway, how big is a bushel? I don't know. So I picked, this is the last of my banana peppers. So I'm just going to show, I haven't even watched them or anything. I'm just going to show you guys how many I got. So my banana peppers is the last batch. And I've processed at least probably 5 times as much already. So my banana peppers did fantastic. Hey, Matt and Sarah. I did get a lot of peppers, so thank you. So this is my banana peppers. These are my purple Murasaki peppers. So I've got all of these to go through. The last time I made these, was it the last time? I actually mixed these with some jalapenos and made like a sweeter cowboy candy. So I might do that again with these. But I also have a bunch of these in the fridge right now that are all ready to go. So I'm going to be doing peppers the next few days. And then these are the last of my bigger ones. The one thing about leaving them on the plant, they didn't finish turning. I was waiting for it to get all red, but it's just been too chilly for that. Oh, hello, Aurora. Thank you so much. Thank you, Kate. Thank you, Alicia. I appreciate that. So yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful sized pepper and nice and firm. I was just waiting. I was like, I want it all red. I want a red pepper, but it's just taking so long for it to mature and to turn. I think it's just because we're too cool now. Our nights are too cool, and these are the Rewia, Rewia. Those peppers, they're from Poland, and I figured Poland has very similar climate to Minnesota. And so I thought, well, that would be a good pepper to do. So if I try these again and see, I'm waiting for that to all turn orange and I didn't quite finish it. But thank you, Miss T. Thank you. I'm trying to, so I just wanted to have like all these orange and red peppers. But so anyway, everything else is green. And a lot of these are California Wonders. So yeah, I got some nice sized peppers. That one. Some of them are a little smaller. And here's another one of the Polish ones trying to turn. They've just been taking forever and ever and ever. And but look at this. Look at this one. Oh, and it is so firm. Oh my goodness. I the one thing I think about the California Wonders is that they're thick walled, and it feels like it. I mean, I can't even push it in at all. It's not flexible at all. So anyway, I have some green peppers. I will probably, I don't know. I have one recipe that I like to do. It's a pepper relish. So it takes a certain amount of green peppers and then banana peppers, and otherwise I'll put a couple of these in the fridge for just fresh eating and salads and everything. And then I think the rest I'll probably dice up and put in the freezer to have. So anyway, I got peppers going, and I've had tomatoes going. This weekend I processed about 50 pounds of tomatoes, and they were all like beef steaks. A meaty pepper. Yes, it is a meaty pepper. Thank you guys. Stuffed bell peppers. Oh, I could do that with one of them too. You made your first batch of homemade raspberry jam. Oh, awesome. Doing jam is a great way to just start. If you've never canned, never preserved or anything, just getting some fruit and doing the jelly process or the jam. And it's almost, well, Sean would probably disagree. It's almost foolproof in that way that, you're going to get some great tasting jam no matter what. Add the fruit and the sugar and the pectin. There you go. And you don't have to worry about a lot of canning mistakes or anything like that. So, Dave, you love pepper jelly. Make it thin, pour over cream cheese. Ooh, there you go. Yep. Besides being a bit thicker than making jellies, it's pretty easy. It is. It is. Sean, how did that second batch come out? I don't know if I saw it. I'm trying to remember if I saw that second one came out. I'm not sure. But hey, Tori, hello. Thank you for coming. Apricot pepper. Oh, that sounds really good. Oh my goodness, that would be really that sweet and savory together. Hello, Teresa. Well, thank you for being here. I really appreciate that. So yeah, the banana peppers. I'm probably going to do more, another batch of pickled banana peppers. I've got quite a bit already, but again, these, they were so abundant this year. I may not have to grow them next year. I could focus on something else if I have enough jars of banana peppers. I haven't added everything up. I do have my book here with me, but I've been keeping track of all the jars and everything. So it did set. Okay, Sean. Well, very good. Wow, Alicia, are you sure? Well, thank you. I would love to. Have I planted garlic yet? No, I haven't. Trying to actually empty out my beds so that I can have room to plant it. I do want to put it like where I've had the squash and everything. So um, some of the things that are there, I'm starting to get ready to pull out pretty soon. So I need to order my garlic and put that in. But I would love to. I have never successfully grown it, but I also haven't tried it for like 20 years. So because I tried like 2 or 3 years, I just totally failed. But I didn't know that I had to plant it in the fall. That was the thing. Did not know. So thank you, Alicia. I really appreciate that. So coconut chicken, coconut oil, bunch of chopped peppers and onions. Throw in some boneless. That sounds good. I love doing sauteing peppers and onions together with for all kinds of things and just adding them to stuff. And then if I have mushrooms on hand, I'll throw those in too. But yeah, peppers and onions. And I love having different colors of peppers so that I have this variety. You know, it's like red, yellow, and green, or red, orange, and green, or something, and throw them all in together. So when I get a chance, I get peppers and I cut them up and freeze them. I will have them in a baggie, actually with onions too, so I can just take some out and throw it in a pan and saute them. Hey Dawn, how are you? You try to do that with hot peppers. Growing up for a couple of years allows you to add other varieties, repeat, and build it. Yep, absolutely. And then, like you said, with hot peppers, if you're like doing a whole bunch of paprika or something because you want to dry them or roast them or dry them, you know, dehydrate them and then make your own paprika powder, that usually lasts quite a while. So if you have a good harvest of it, that makes me hungry back. Uh, all right, Patty, no problem. Peppers last 100 years dried whole. Wow, you're laughing. But is it true? Tori, your hubby made smoked brisket with sauteed onion, peppers, and provolone cheese. Oh, melt in your mouth. Oh, that sounds really, really good. You can also add pineapple to, for the coconut chicken. Oh, that would be good. Yes. So I would probably saute everything up on the stovetop. So I say saute, not fry, right? Because I use a lot of coconut oil and then avocado oil, but yeah, this would definitely be in coconut oil. That is so great. You have 10-year-old peppers. Nice. So, oh, oh, I know Glenn, right? I get some of these. Look at they streaked. So I think they were starting to cross pollinate a little bit with the Murasakis, the purple ones. And then I had a couple of those. So it's kind of cool. I mean, they're fine. They're totally good. They're not damaged in any way. So it's just streaking. And then there's a couple of these. They're purple on one side and green on the other. And never had them do that before. But this one too. So it's possible that they were on the plant a little bit longer, and I don't know if that's. A lot of these have been on there quite a long time, but somebody else, I don't remember. Glenn, was it you or was it somebody else? The amazing drop. Hello, you did better on the peppers. You know what? Last year I didn't even get one single pepper, and I had like 15 plants. This year I had 18 plants, and it's just been going crazy for weeks. And weeks and weeks and weeks. 10-year-old cayenne after rehydrating. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I would turn it into cayenne pepper. I do have some cayenne peppers and paprika peppers that I dehydrated and I put them in jars whole so that vacuum sealed them, put moisture and oxygen absorbers in the jars. So they'll last a long time. And so when I need to have some cayenne and paprika, I've got a huge supply of seasonings anyway, but when I need to go to those, I would rather just take one pepper out at a time and grind it up and then use it kind of fresh in that way. Your pepper's got leaf miners. Oh. Do they live in the ground or some type of moth eggs? I am not familiar with leaf miners, Tori. Does anybody else know? That I'm not sure, so. Oh, okay. That's okay. I'm just glad you hear your drops. That's good. Idea for canning. 1/4 of a jar of chopped onion and peppers and tomatoes. Use it for a chili starter. Okay. I have done so much. I did 22 jars of different tomato things this weekend. Salsas and relishes, and I did a bruschetta, which is really kind of cool. I mean, it's got white wine and white wine vinegar and balsamic vinegar in it, and some, garlic and different things with the tomatoes and peppers, and so kind of excited to try that. And so you just scoop it out and then put it on, on something in that way. So I know I'm getting a little behind here. Hey, 13 Moons, hello. Thank you for being here. You air dry all your hot peppers on a string. Oh, okay. Well, then you don't have to worry about breaking one's dental floss. That's very cool. After a few months, you put in a big gallon jar hole and don't even seal it. Okay. These are like rock hard. Just a lid to keep the dust off. Okay, well, that's good to know. Hey, Christina. Matt, I have not made a hot sauce, so I don't know. Sorry. Done teaching for the day. I'm learning with the dogs. Oh, okay, Matt. Thanks so much for coming in. Bye-bye. So, all right. So that's all the stuff that I'm preserving, tomatoes and peppers, and I'm going to be pulling my onions. I did pull my pepper plants too, so they're out, they're done. Got some squash that's been coming, and herbs, and yeah, the tomatoes. So I topped off my tomato plants, and because we did get frost last week. We got a heavy frost, let's say Thursday morning, and then a light frost Friday morning. So it was good that I covered everything. And if anybody saw my Instagram pictures, you saw how I covered everything. I had tarps all over, and then I had bags over each of my tomato plants, and the stakes and everything. But it saved them. It's a lot of work, but it saved them. The All-American 21 quarts. Okay. Everything made it, Dave. Yes, everything made it. So it's great. Well, 13 moons. I hope you do get rain. So thanks, Alicia. Hi, Christy. Hello. So today's main topic is 10 spices that can make your food last longer. And I am going to put the link here. I forgot to put it in the description. But this is the article that I'm actually reading from. Hey, Deb. Oh, you guys, it's tough. You're not getting all the fresh air and oxygen that you need. So, hey, Michael, 58, hello. So we've got, this is from askaprepper.com, and I just saw his article and I was like, this is a really great thing. And since we've been talking about herbs and spices and different things, there's just a few things that can end up helping your preserved food lasts longer. So let's see if I can close this up a little bit. There we go, so I can see you guys. And I'll list off the 10 first, and then we can kind of go through them. So it's honey, salt, garlic, black pepper, sugar, ginger, sage, rosemary, mustard, and cumin. So some of those we go, oh yeah, well, we figure that, salt, yes, sugar is a preservation, honey's right in there too. But then looking at sage and rosemary and those kind of things, so it's kind of cool. So honey, obviously we know honey will last forever, but it can be used for preserving. It can actually, says preserving seeds, your garden seeds in honey is a great way to make them last through the winter, which is like, wow, I never thought of that. So you're in Oregon, you're on fire. Oh, I'm so sorry, 13 moons. Yeah, that's, you've got quite a few of those spices. Okay. For salt, the maple for sugar, yes. Hey, Tiffany, hello. Well, you're here, and that's important. So, yes, leaf miners. It's if I have a chance at the end here, Jason, and I have a little time, I'll see if I can quick bring up something to see if if there's anything on the leaf miners. So honey. Says animal products such as eggs or cuts of meat can also last if completely submerged in honey. The idea is that honey doesn't spoil, so anything submerged inside should last years. But the type of honey is important. Natural honey without additives is the best. Food stored with manufactured honey will rot within days. So you guys don't say, oh, I'll go out and buy, this thing of honey from the store. It'll still rot your food. So it's got to be all natural honey, which can preserve indefinitely. So salt, we know, especially like fish and things like that, to just layer them in layers of salt, and it prevents bacterial growth. So it says to salt a piece of meat or fish, cover it completely with a 1-inch thick layer of sea salt or kosher salt. Table salt will not work for preserving. Again, the manufactured stuff, when they take all the good stuff out and then throw all kinds of made up stuff back in or something, you just have to really, really be careful. So you have a salt brine, that would work too, probably. For it, probably not as, I don't know if it would be as long, because you've got that water factor in there that can end up, I would think it would end up degrading the fish a little. I'm not sure. Let's see. So be sure the salt has an even thickness around the meat to prevent any bacteria from getting in. Hang in a cool, dry place until ready to eat. Depending on the climate, meat and fish can be salted and hung to dry in a cool, dark place for up to 1 year. And that would be raw meat and raw fish, which is pretty amazing. All right, so garlic. Yes, drops, I've seen that too. Putting it in a, what is it? Is it lime? It's like a commercial lime type of thing that they put it in there. Not like the fruit, but the brine. It's like a lime chemical, not chemical, but the natural lime stuff. Okay, garlic, pickling lime. Thanks, Dave. Garlic contains an active ingredient called allicin, which is known to have an antimicrobial effect. It is theorized that when crushing garlic, the allicin is released and will have more health benefits even once cooked. In a study done by researchers at the University of Eastern Africa, garlic was found to produce lastability in preserving harvested pumpkin over other spices due to its high amounts of allicin. The garlic allowed the pumpkin to be stored for 5 days, while other spices caused rot by the second day. So we're talking Eastern Africa, so it's very tropical and things like that. So when they're trying to grow it and preserve it when they don't have refrigeration, they found that that worked. Oh, no, spell check. So, Christy, I would have to agree with you. You are getting a hurricane, my dear. I hope it's. I hope you're going to be okay there. So, Earth egg solar. Yeah, I don't know. When you're pretty close to sea level, it's kind of tough. Maybe, I don't know. So, all right, black pepper. So existing food preservation calls for the use of chemicals and additives, which not everyone wants to ingest. Black pepper has antimicrobial, antifungal, and prebiotic properties, and it's an amazing spice to add to preserved foods. Black pepper will commonly be found in preserving jams, pickles, jam like a pepper jelly type of thing. Pickles, preserves, and candies. Add whole peppercorns to pickles while adding ground black pepper to preserves and jams. Doing so will extend the shelf life of your food up to 1 month once the preserving seal is broken. So it means like you've used it in there, and once you pop the seal and go to use it, let's say it will normally last 2 or 3 weeks or something. You can throw another month on top of that and you don't have to worry about it. So, well, hello, Gil. Hi, how are you? A new hothouse. Wow. I'm just trying to catch up on these. Okay, so you're going to get the remnants of it. Okay. I know it looked like from, I don't know if it was going to hit Mobile, but it looked like Eastern Louisiana, so New Orleans, Slidell, right in there into Biloxi. That was going to be where things were going to hit. They were talking about an 11-foot storm surge, so which is a lot for that area. All right, so black pepper. So while black pepper will aid in preservation, it will also add a multitude of health benefits to preserved foods. Okay, moving on to sugar. So sugar draws out water from microbes, eventually killing them in the process. So water is what ends up adding to rot, adds to bacteria, adds to the decay in your food. I'm not talking about like when you're canning peaches and you have to add water to it or anything, but for, anything that needs a full length of time in that way. So, but for the bacteria and the microbes, it will end up killing them in the process. So much like how all natural honey preserves foods when submerged, sugar will preserve in the same way. So that's how sterilized jars of homemade jam stay preserved at room temperature for such a long time. So adding in sugar to it, and it can last many years. Hydrophilic. Dave, you are just a walking encyclopedia. Thank you. It's a preservative. Okay. Yep. So ginger is the next one. So ginger is an ingredient that helps upset stomachs, prevents the flu, and stimulates saliva production. It's also a great preservative. Ginger has antimicrobial and anti-carcinogenic properties. Crushed ginger with juice and pulp is a delicious additive that will help preserve foods. That will help preserved foods last longer. So modern technology has allowed for the extraction of these active ingredients to aid as a food preservative commercially. For the people at home who would like to use ginger as a food preservative, Added to jams, preserves, or pickles to add a few additional months of preservation time. So there you go. Oh, I'm sorry, Patty. Would it help to refresh or not? So add to meat because it's a natural tenderizer. Oh, I didn't know that. Thank you, Drops. All right, sage. The essential oils in sage are common food preservatives found in packaged foods, such as liver pate. The oils, however, are heavily diluted, as concentrated sage oil is not considered safe to consume. And we talked about that when we did our Sage Day this summer. So sage was used, before refrigeration, sage was used as a preservative, particularly for meat. While meat was in the drying process, sage would be added to mask any funky flavors from the drying process. This is due to the antimicrobial and antibacterial properties of sage. When used in this way, sage will help preserve meat for up to 1 year. That's pretty cool. Oh, okay, Patty. Maybe it's your weather out there. I don't know. Hey, Missy at Shore Homestead. Hello, welcome. I know I don't like when I have to be on my phone either. I can't tag people. And then people are so used to me being on my computer and just, tagging and doing all my stuff all the time. And so when I'm on my phone, they're going, hey, Kathy, hey, Kathy, hey, Kathy. I'm just like, hi to everyone, but then, the chat moves on and they don't know that I maybe explained once, if I'm on my phone, taking out one letter at a time on my phone and I can't tag people. And so I think some people might get upset when I don't get back to them, but oh, well, Patty, thank you so much. I'm sorry about that. All right, rosemary. Rosemary extract is one of the most common food preservatives used in the UK. Rosemary is known as the alternative preservative to chemicals, as it has loads of antioxidant-rich polyphenols. Rosemary contains carnosic acid, I don't know if I said that right, and rosmarinic acid, which aid in delaying oxidation of fats and halt any microorganisms from spreading. So it's got those things to delay. Nice. Rosemary extract works well in homemade dried sausages and can also be used in canned and preserved salad dressings. Doing so will extend the shelf life of canned goods for up to 6 months. Yes, 13 months. Yeah, they've. You guys, it's just like to go through a drought and then have all the air quality like that too. It's like so hard. I've been praying for you guys for relief. Mustard. Spicy ingredients like mustard love to fight off harmful bacteria when added to dishes. The University of Alberta conducted a study in 2012 testing mustard seed waste as a food preservative. In the past, mustard seed waste was seen as a low-value waste item and was disposed of immediately. Again, use everything that we've got. God blessed us with those. There's a purpose for them. Researchers hypothesized that utilizing this waste as a food preservative would have positive effects. The antibacterial effects on food preservation were positive, and it was found that mustard seed does in fact aid in food preservation. Using mustard seed will add about 1 to 2 weeks to its shelf life. Now we're talking like when you're making something and you put it in the refrigerator. Let's say you're making a salad dressing, and it would normally, you'd have a week or something for that. Or even homemade mayonnaise. If you add mustard to it, mustard seed, then, and that's, I think, one of the reasons we do add mustard to it. And if you, because I use a homemade Dijon mustard, which is there's a lot of mustard seed in it. It's organic mustard seed, and so when I make my mayo, that goes in there, so that helps it last longer than what it would normally. So really, we're not talking about anything that you would can, in the jars and everything, to say that, oh, it'll give you another 1 to 2 weeks, because you can't really judge that. So yes, Dave, that is a good common combo. Encapsulated thyme, essential oil is used as natural preservative in bakery products. Okay. I know, Missy, isn't it? I mean, just all the things that we've talked about all summer, it's like so many uses. And I mean, a couple of weeks ago, we talked about how the plants can actually um, fight disease and pests and everything in your garden. And now we're talking about how it's preserving them. And it's like the more I study and find out about the herbs and what they do, it's like, I want to have half my garden in herbs. It's like, let's just do it all here. Hey, the overworked gardener. Hello, and Moore's Patch of Heaven. Hi. Thank you for being here. Um, yes, Chrissy, it is cool. Okay, the last one is cumin. And so cumin is a member of the parsley family, and it's a small seed, and it's commonly referred to as the spice of the ancients. Like salt, cumin has been used as a food preservative for centuries. It possesses anti-inflammatory components and antioxidants, helping contribute to stable food preservation. Ancient Egyptians used cumin in the mummification process, much like honey. So you don't want to start mummifying your family or your spouse or anything, but it's like it's good for things. So cumin today will likely be mixed with salt or sugar to aid in the preserving process and can extend shelf life. Okay, this would be like non-canned things, but extend the shelf life by 2 weeks to 2 years, depending on how it is used. So up to 2 years extra would be for canned goods, I imagine. Yes, thyme is very, very good. Drops we covered. I think thyme was one of the very first ones I did this summer. So, yep, absolutely. If you guys haven't, if a lot of you missed any of those things, I did a live herb series all summer long, as we did different herbs in different weeks. And if there's something you want to know, go back and check those out. And I really, really appreciate that. So sadly, you dislike the taste of cumin. It's the one that you need for like tacos, taco meat and everything. So it does have a very, very distinctive flavor to it. So you'd want to really be careful what you used it for. You'd want to know that, okay, that's the flavor we're going for. That's what we're going to be using it. But curry you don't like. Oh, that's fine, the overworked gardener. But yeah, I've got a series. I think I have a playlist of them too. So I think they're up to date. I'm not sure. I have to go back and check. But yes, I do have that. So there are tons of benefits to using spices over chemical additives in food preservation. For the home cook who wants to ensure their food lasts as long as possible, using these 10 spices will ensure your food will last as long as humanly possible. Spices have been used for centuries to preserve meats, fish, and vegetables through winter, unseasonable weather, and food shortages. Taking the chemicals out of food storage and bringing in natural alternatives is not only better for the earth, but it's for our health. And, for how many millennia really that they did that, and all of a sudden in the last 70 years we decided that didn't work anymore, that those weren't good. So I was like, okay, all of a sudden we know better. Yes. So here is the link again for all of that information if you guys want to check that out. So Christy, you made a tea last winter for bronchitis with thyme, rosemary, and sage. Nice. Yes. I have a respiratory tea myself that I use every day, and I'm going to start getting into it. It was just hard to drink hot tea when it was 95 degrees here, so, but now the weather's cooling down and I'm buttoning up the house a little bit. I'm going to start getting back in my tea every day. Okay, Overwork Gardener, I hope that does help. Thank you so much. Alrighty. Close to the end. So my prep tip is to practice preserving small amounts of food. Don't go and make this whole batch into everything, but all the things that we just read and that I just read and just shared with you guys and talked about. Practice preserving small amounts of food with all of these spices. See how it works for you, and then also find out what works best. All of our different climates, the different foods, our different needs. You may be one who can't have a salty diet. You have to take that mostly out of your diet. So preserving something in salt might not be the best thing for you. So, try to find different ways to preserve and just see, like take a fourth of a pound of ground beef or something, or a little hunk of steak or something like that before you cook everything up. And just take that and it's like, okay, I'm going to try to submerge this in honey and I'll come back in 2 weeks and see what's what with it or something like that. Just try different things. And it's just like any of our other homesteading skills. Don't just watch videos and then have it in your mind without, thinking that, I'll be set, everything. But we need to put these things into practice, because once you start doing it and practicing it, there's a connection between your brain and your hands, and what goes on, so that when you find yourself in a situation, it's there, that it's that memory thing that goes on. So Dave, you have an idea. I will try a thing I've considered egg yolks in salt. Ooh. Becomes something like Parmesan cheese. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Yep, make your own beef jerky. There you go. Drain herbs. Yep. All right, and then my garden tip for tonight is, okay, kind of what I had to do last week. Have a plan to cover your garden or your plants in case of an early frost or a late frost. Early in the spring, late in the spring, early in the fall. Sorry. Whether you need to use tarps or sheets or blankets, maybe bring pots inside. Have a supply of sticks or posts or something, whether they're T-posts or wooden stakes or something, so that you can put, every so often or in the corners or something, and drape your blankets over that, or drape your sheets or whatever you have going over that. Just something to help cover what you have. Like I said, I use some plastic garbage bags, and I actually cut a hole. I wasted a lot of bags, but I'm gonna what do you call it? I'm gonna fold them up and store them, so I'll have them for next year in case I need to use them again. So I'm not just cutting a hole in them and wasting them. But anyway, I cut a hole in the middle and then put it down over my tall stakes, so that it would come down to the level of where my tomato plants were, and then they would drape over the plants easier. And because I grow them on a stake, on a single stem, and they haven't like bushed out all over the place, I was able to take that garbage bag and put it over it. So it really, really helped. But yeah, have a plan. And you want to make sure that, like I said, to have something to help prop them up, so that, especially if you're using blankets or something heavy that's going to be on gentle or delicate plants, you don't want that laying down there and then breaking all of your plants and everything. Also, watering your plants, spraying the plants too, not just the ground, but spraying the plants before and then immediately after a freeze can help prevent damage. And after the freeze, you want to get out there in the morning before the sun hits them, because there's something, I know Jess at Roots and Refuge was talking about this too, but I've known about this for a while, that there's something in the leaves themselves, in the chemical makeup of them and what they do. And she described it really well. I don't know all the words for it, but anyway, if you apply water to it and start bringing, because the water from your hose is going to be a little warmer than the frost that's on the leaves, then you can help warm them up a little bit in that way before the sun would hit them. And generally you can save at least 90% of all your crops that way. So, sorry, I got behind in here. I was on a learning by doing. Yes. Thank you, Morris Patch. You want to try the egg parm too? Sounds tasty. Would I recommend a mesh drying rack for drying herbs, or is an electric one best? You can do either way, Alicia. There's a lot of different things. You can even use your oven to lay things out. Whatever you do, they need airflow. So anything would have to be mesh, and I'm not sure electric what that would look like. Electric drying rack versus a mesh one. Even if you just put a screen, get an old screen door or a screen window or something and lay that out, and then put your herbs out on it. That can work if you tie them up in a bundle and hang them. You don't want too many at once, because then it can, it can start getting moldy and stuff if it doesn't have a good airflow. 4 to 6 more weeks till frost. Wow. Ours was early, September 10th. It was an early frost for us. So, thanks, Dave. They turn to mush if the sun hits them. Yeah. There you go. Thank you, Missy. Yeah. So, yep, exactly. Put the sprinklers on the citrus crops in Florida, especially. It's like, oh, they've got to get out there and do that. But that's something they have to. Oops. Stop. Thanks, Julie. Yes, that it's kind of an infrastructure that they need to have in place before they, because they know that's always a possibility. So it's not like, oh man, it's going to freeze tonight. It's like, what are we going to do? Is scrambling to get hoses and, different things like that. But if you have a plan laid out, and that's kind of what I'm talking about here for the garden, to have a plan for what you're going to do. So, Little House on the Prairie books, they ran around watering the frozen corn. Yep. See, they knew how to do it even way back there. So, okay, Gil, thanks so much for coming. I appreciate it. Good night, 13 moons. Thank you. It's going to be a mild winter. Yep. Yeah, because we were talking last week, we're supposed to get a La Nina. And so for me in Minnesota, in the northern tier, we have colder than normal and higher precipitation. The El Nino, the little boy, our winters are milder and very gray and cloudy and very little precipitation. So, we've had El Nino years where we get like 6 inches of snow for the whole year. It's like depressing, but so anyway, that's okay, Connie. Thanks for coming. Hello. And we're going to go because divers are on and their lives are going on. But thank you guys so much for coming and sharing all this with me. And I've got my work cut out for me. Look at all these greedy days. So they smell good too. There's lots of peppers. There's just so much to do. I'm not really sleeping much these days. So anyway, bye, Matt and Sarah. You guys take care. Minnesota is not a frozen tundra wasteland. Only in a couple months in the winter. Anyway, all right, guys, you take care. God bless. Always have hope and have a great week. Thanks so much for coming. Good night.